WWPH Worldwide Radio. From the studios at West Windsor, Plainsboro High Schools North and South, 107.9 FM, WWPH, Princeton Junction.
Welcome back again to the Fantastic Five show. This is your engineer Natalia, and I'm joined by
Saharsh.
And we'll be right back.
Spotted, the best way to elevate your day. It's 107.9 where the fun talks meet the best music in town. Turn up the volume for a mix of unforgettable moments, smart conversations, and songs that will make your day brighter. You know we love it. XOXO 107.9 FM WWPH in Princeton Junction.
Hi, I'm Carson Kressley. Of all the resources in the world, kindness is the most precious. For more than 140 years, American Humane has been working to protect animals in disasters, on farms, on the silver screen, and in zoos and aquariums caring for the world's vanishing creatures. You can help too by making humane choices every day. Visit AmericanHumane.org for simple ways to build a more caring and compassionate world for all of us.
To listening your Junction Princeton in MF 9.701 HPWW. You're listening to WWPH 107.9 FM in Princeton Junction.
Welcome back again. Now we're going to get started with some school news. So, the West Windsor Plainsboro Regional School District announced both the Educators of the Year and Support Professionals of the Year. This special recognition program were created to honor one educator and one support professional from each school building. A committee made up of peers, parents, and administrators selected the winners. The West Windsor Plainsboro Board of Education will officially honor this group of winners on June 9th, 2026. The upcoming district celebration event will be held at High School South. Kathy Tantum won a Support Professional of the Year award as a professional secretary for High School South, and Terry Gagliardo, is that how you say it? Gagliardo won a Support Professional of the Year award as a human resource specialist for the district office.
Yeah, these are honestly pretty cool things because, there are definitely some teachers in this building and, administrators that above all the others that are there, they put like an extra effort into the work they do and really make teaching students like something that they're really passionate about doing and really care about so much. So the fact that, some of them are getting the Educator of the Year Award and Support Professional of the Year Awards are really cool because that shows that their extra hard work is being recognized.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is such a great thing to do for the teachers, especially that every single year they do a lot for the students, and a lot of the students really appreciate what the teachers do for them, and they educate really well, especially me. I have a really good teachers this year. We don't talk about chemistry, but I think it just depends on the person, and their likes, because if you have a good teacher and you don't like the subject, it's okay. But if you don't have a good teacher and you don't like the subject, I think that's really difficult, because I'm not really into science, and my teacher is not really good in a way that it's worse for me to learn, but it's good. And I like that she's always helping me out and always trying and to see if I understand the subject and all of that. And that's what really I appreciate of some teachers, because normally teachers, they don't do that. They just give you the assignment and you figure it out. You can just search on, especially with AI. A lot of teachers use that. And also they tell them to use AI as a tool trying to print out some work, like, I don't know, geoscience, AS, you know.
Yeah, you definitely raised some good points there, because some teachers, you know, like you said, with the rise of AI, they're not as, like, they're not, so, like, it depends really on the teacher. Some, like, use AI in, like, the content itself, which is something that's definitely not good, since, you know, that kind of removes the point of, like, having a teacher in the first place. But others use it for, like, something like, you know, designing slideshows to show to the students and stuff, to deliver it in, like, a more clear and engaging way. But you're right, other than those, like, you know, some teachers, like, they do, like, the minimal effort. Some teachers, it's all right. But then, like you said, you know, some, like, are really good at teaching students and putting it in, like, the information they say in different ways where everyone can understand it and everyone can learn from it. And it's good that, you know, they're being recognized in these situations.
Yeah, especially for the teachers that really like being a teacher, you know, that they love teach and all of that. Because for a student, it's really easy to tell if a teacher teaches as the way that they love it, like, not as a hobby, like something that they always wanted to be when they were little, like our age. But if you're teaching because, like, you just teach, it's not the same feeling, you know. And I think a lot of the teachers are like that, and I think it's really common. But still, it's, like, really difficult for, like, the students to try to understand the teacher's point of view or, like, their teaching skills, you know.
Yeah, you definitely raise a good point there, because, you know, it's different, like, it, especially for being a teacher, like, that's something where you have to have, like, you know, a lot of commitment and, like, something which you're really passionate about, and, like, you know, to be able to, like, do the job effectively, since you're going to encounter a whole bunch of students. Not all of them are going to be, like, cooperative, not all of them will, like, learn the same way and all that. So, like, the teachers that, like, especially, you know, take the time to, like, connect with each and every one of their students, I feel like that's something that's really special and truly commendable.
Exactly, that's such a great point. And I just think that teachers are not like a distraction or just like someone to follow because you have to, but as a way of having someone that teaches you a lot of new stuff that you never thought about, you know. Like in chemistry, I never thought that I would learn things that I'm not going to learn in the future, because I'm not going to be like a scientist or all of that. But things like that are actually really cool, like doing experiments, you know, like labs. It was so cool. I remember this time, I think it was the second marking period, that we were doing a lab with flames, and it was so cool because we were like combining elements from the periodic table, and it was so
making
cool.
Different colors.
Yes, and we weren't supposed to do this, but just to make it like a little fun, we added like 2 elements. And one element was like the flame was blue and the other one was red. So we wanted to combine them if, like, I don't know, like it would turn out purple.
Mm-hmm.
But it would actually, like, you know, like on the top of the flame that is like red and then like the middle is yellow.
Uh-huh.
So the yellow was blue and the red was red.
Ooh, that's really cool.
I know. It was like a combination of colors. That was actually so cool, and I think I'm not going to forget that. And the last lab was actually so cool. And it was so funny because my chemistry teacher, she never done the lab before, so she looked really nervous, because if you see, like, there was a lot of like stuff that was around, like, you know, the lab. When you do the lab, there's like the procedure and all of that, and the things that you combine all of that. There was like 20 like different things, so it was like actually like a lab, like AP Chem, and it was so interesting. I think I'm not gonna forget that.
I remember doing that in sophomore year as well. That was definitely, I love doing labs a lot, like in both biology and chemistry, because, you know, it's just a lot more fun to do than just, like, you know, sitting at your desk listening to, like, the teacher speak, and then you're given a worksheet and then you have to do that. Labs definitely make, like, you know, it much more fun to, like, actually learn the information and, like, be able to experience why it matters in real time, because you know, without all that stuff, you know, you wouldn't be able to see such cool things in real time.
Yeah, and I think that if you miss a lab because you were absent and now you have to do it alone, I think doing it alone is not the same as doing it as a group, you know? Because you get like different reactions and all of that instead of just you. Especially that after that you have to do the analysis by yourself. And the analysis is an assessment grade, and nobody wants that. Yeah, I have a friend, And she sits next to me, and she's so smart. Like, she's a sophomore, and she was doing like AP, a lot of AP tests, like
Ooh.
push, calc.
In sophomore year itself?
Yes.
Wow.
She's crazy. I think, and she also did AP physics too.
That's impressive.
I know. Like, having her in chem actually saved my life. Because of her, I'm passing. So the last day of school, when I have chem and she's there, I'm actually gonna thank her so much. Because, like, without her, I wouldn't even pass chemistry, you know? And it's not like I'm bad at studying and all of that. It's just that if you don't like a subject, you're not gonna study it as, like, a subject that you actually love, you know? Like, I really don't like any subjects, but, like, if I have to choose, it would be LA, because I like writing, and I have good grades because of it. I ask questions and all of that. But in chemistry, otherwise, it's a completely different universe. Like, I'm trying to figure out, like, how to do it, and it's like geo, but, like, with symbols, you know?
Yep.
Like, I don't even know how one of my closest friends is going to do AP Chem next year. But she wants to be an engineer, so it kind of makes sense. But still, you know, like, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, especially, like, you know, before in, like, elementary school and stuff, math and science were kind of, like, two separate things, you know? Like, people wouldn't, like, correspond the two together. But, you know, now in, like, high school, I think everyone can clearly see science has a lot to do with math, and if you're not good at math, like, you're probably not going to be good at science, because there's, like, you know, formulas you need to know, there's, like, certain ways of, like, arranging and rearranging molecules you have to know, and there's a lot of math that goes into that. So people who, like, you know, they don't like math, they, you know, it doesn't really help them for science, since, you know, now there's, like, a lot more math involved. So you're right, it makes sense why, you know, someone who's going into engineering would want to take, like, a science, since, you know, math is still quite a lot involved in there.
Yeah, definitely. Now we're going to change the subject to Lego Robotics Camp, if anybody is interested in it. So the event was announced, it's already posted by a neighbor named Dominic Young. The Lego Robotics Camp is scheduled to begin on Monday, June 22nd, 2026. The daily activities for the camp are set to start at 9 a.m. The camp will take place at the Hahn School of Princeton. The school is located at 176 Edgerstone Stone Road in Princeton, New Jersey. This robotics camp is assigned for children in 3rd grade through 5th grade. Campers will use LEGO Education Spike Prime kits to design and program their robots. The children will complete new engineering missions and solve problems each day. The program helps campers learn teamwork, persistence, and key STEM concepts. Lastly, the camp offers hands-on activities that combine computer coding with creativity. So I think that this is really good, especially for people at that young age that really like engineering stuff and like electricity, because I think like in robotics you need to know a lot of like electricity stuff. I'm not really into engineering, so I'm trying to like remember, because I remember that when I lived in Costa Rica, I used to go to one of those things in my mom's work, like take your child to work day, and I will always do that thing. And I remember that we would like create like robots and try to like put them to a race and see who wins first, and that was actually really cool.
You definitely raise a good point there. Me neither. I'm not really a STEM kid. I have no interest in going to that. But yeah, a lot of people who like, at least parents who like want their kids to like, you know, go into that STEM field, engineering, that kind of stuff, and or kids who are like interested in that, you know, because I'm pretty sure as kids, like a lot of our childhoods were filled with like, you know, normal Legos. At least here in the States, you know, that's what a lot of people played with when they were younger. And so, you know, Lego robotics was kind of bridging the gap between like more advanced robotics and just like, you know, playing with Legos. So like you know, the way they did it, it's like it was a pretty good way to bridge that gap and turn like, you know, this kind of like whole essence of like building things, making them work, from just like a simple game to play to something which, you know, people could experiment with more, work in teams, go to competitions, and learn the essence of how STEM works.
Yeah, definitely. Those points are really good right there. And we'll be right back on the 107.9 FM for some news.
Your community, your world, your radio station. 107.9 FM. WWPH in Princeton Junction. The Flash.
Good afternoon. This is Natalia with the 107.9 FM Campus Flash for Wednesday, May 27, 2026. Local parents will challenge school district leaders at a public meeting this Saturday to demand clearer answers about school spending and sports. A neighborhood group claims that officials are hiding public records and dodging simple questions from taxpayers. A massive model train show will open in Rocky Hill on June 20th to display giant toy railroads and miniature towns. Visitors can see thousands of feet of tracks and meet a famous television star who is helping raise money for local firefighters. The local museum will bury a special time capsule on Independence Day that will stay underground for exactly 50 years. Neighbors have until June 14th to donate small items that show future generations what life looks like today. In other school and community news, a breast cancer charity event called Partners in Pink will take place at Mercer Lake on June 17th. Neighbors will meet at the boat house to raise money and honor local health heroes. The Sheng Farmstead will host a big history festival on June 7th to show neighbors how early settlers lived. The sign-ups for all fall sports teams will close this June. High School North will host a big flag football game at their stadium field tomorrow, May 28th. Checking your local weather, it's currently 77 degrees, it's cloudy outside, and a look ahead for high temperatures starting at 2 p.m. This has been Natalia with your 107.9 FM Campus Flash for Wednesday, May 27, 2026.
107.9 WWPH.
Your community, your world, your radio.
Don't let me down.
Listen to the station that'll never let you down. 107.9 FM WPH in Princeton Junction.
This is Natalia on 107.9 FM. Family is the most important gift that someone can have in their life because they would always be there, and even though sometimes there are conflicts and arguments, it would make you and your family bond even stronger than before. For me, family comes before everything that I have, like friends, classmates, teachers, cousins, aunts, uncles, etc. I know this because my family was always by my side, supporting me in everything that I do, especially cheering or whenever I have a basketball game. They would support me in the moments when I feel depressed or the giving up moments. Ultimately, family is important because they give you endless love, support you through tough times, and help shape you into the best version of yourself. This has been Natalia on 107.9 FM.
I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. In the 108, the greatest station. Feel the goosebumps with our great music in the great 108.
Okay. Alright, so me and Natalia are going to be playing charades now. So how this works is you draw a secret phrase from a title or a bowl, and then you must act out the phrase by only using your body and hand signals. However, because this is a podcast, you guys obviously can't see this. So to make you guys understand the game better, instead of like playing without speaking, we're going to be like speaking as well. And it'll make more sense as we play along, especially for the people who haven't played before. There are a lot of different categories people can play with this game, but we're going to do animals for this one. One person will have a phone on their forehead and will have to guess the animal, and the person will be timed to guess as many animals as possible.
Okay, do you want to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. Here. So up is that you got it. Down is because I don't know how to explain it.
Okay.
Okay. It's superhero. It has blank man.
Superman?
No, blank
Bad.
man. Yes. I don't know. Down. Oh, a pirate. The pet that they have.
Parrot.
Yes. Have you watched like Disney movies?
Depends.
Princess movies?
Some.
Tiana?
Frog?
Yes. Oh my god. I don't know. Go down. I don't know. Go down. What is? I don't know. Go down. This is funny. What? I think it's really big. Eats
Elephant?
fish. No.
Bear?
Yes. Oh, they eat, like, they go to the trash can and they eat stuff.
Raccoon?
Yes. Go again. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's really small. It bites you.
Spider? Mosquito?
No, it's really, really small. It, like,
Fly?
walks.
Walks?
Yeah, it's really small. Really, really, really
Ant?
small. Yes. Oh, it's really small, but they fly. The honey?
Bee?
Yes. It's a bird. It has
Hummingbird?
No, really long.
Toucan?
Yes. Perfect.
Okay.
Wow, that was good.
Yeah, I may or may not know a lot of animals.
It's okay. I was actually so surprised that you got Tiana. Because it's a Disney movie, and it was like princess. Normally, like whenever I talk about
I don't remember
princess, like,
all the princess names, but like...
Yeah, but I was actually so impressed. That
Like,
was so good.
I knew that one of them had to do with a frog, and then another, like, Beauty and the Beast, that one had to do with, like, a different creature. So I took a wild guess, and looks like I was right with that one.
Yeah, that was so good. Oh, sadly, that's the end of the podcast. Hopefully next time we'll play more charades. I think this is such a cool game, right?
Yeah, this is definitely a really fun game. We should play this again.
Okay, that was the end of the podcast. So thank you for tuning in for the Fantastic Five show, and we'll see you next time.